Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's September 5th, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. Joining me to my right to help break down the action is Brock Shimbino. Let's jump into fire tip here for starters and see how the grains closed out the day here on a Thursday. As you can see, corn was down 8 1/4 cents on the December contract. Beans, once again, a strong point there for the grain complex, up 15 cents. We had Chicago and Kansas City wheat both trading lower here, down 6 in Chicago, off 8 3/4 in Kansas City. Brock, what was kind of your take on the action today? Certainly beans, one strong point again.
You know, we did have a pretty interesting trade, especially in the soybean market.
Yep.
You know, coming out of that overnight session, all markets were in the negative or in the red. Soybeans really took off mid-session, up 15 at the end of the day here. I think what's really getting the market excited is the prospects for what's going to happen next week with the USDA reports coming up. Yield and production are anticipated to be marked down quite a bit for soybeans, so I think that really got the market excited today. People are starting to take notice of the private analysts, what they said over the last couple of days. They anticipated yield and production reductions, and I think that really got the market excited. And then we hit a level of support too. Technically, we went down and traded within that gap that was left about 10 days or so ago. We traded down to 13.35, found some support. We didn't fill the gap. If we were going to fill it, it would have to go down to 13.31.5. So there's still just a little bit of that gap to be filled. We could test that here in the next coming sessions or so. But, you know, as far as fundamentals are concerned, we didn't get a whole lot of new information out there. One thing we did get, those EIA ethanol production numbers. Yeah,
you know, today in general, the corn market really didn't have a lot to hold on to. We saw it just kind of drift lower, and really it seemed like a continuation of the trade that we've seen for much of this week. It wouldn't be surprising if we did see some short covering tomorrow for the corn market, as it has gotten just kind of grinded lower here this week. The numbers that we did get out from the EIA, as you mentioned, Brock, really didn't do too much to support the trade in today's action. Take a look at this chart here that we've been watching throughout the marketing year. As you can see, the blue line is last year's production numbers. The green line is our forecast, and here the red bars are what is reported there for weekly EIA numbers. Now, this was the last week in the marketing year, and as you can see here, ended on kind of a light note in terms of production. We had 819,000 barrels per day reported produced by the EIA. And if we look at the crush margin right now, we have seen that strengthen a little bit. So kind of just year in review right now, looking back, we certainly saw some very strong ethanol numbers this summer support the grain trade. We'll have to see if that carries into 2013-14 marketing year. As we know, the USDA has some pretty aggressive ethanol production numbers in the WASDE report. In past WASDEs, we'll have to see if they continue that here next Thursday in the WASDE report that you discussed, Brock.
You know, we do get the export sales report tomorrow, a day late due to the Labor Day holiday. Expectations are for wheat coming in at 425 to 600,000 metric tons. Corn on the new crop, 450 to 650,000 metric tons, and soybeans, 550 to 800,000 metric tons. And we've seen the exports back off just a little bit here in the last few weeks. I think some of the rallying, especially in the soybean market, has cut that market down just a little bit. And we've really missed out on some tenders recently by Egypt. And even today, Egypt came out with another tender. They're going to be sourcing it from the U.S., Ukraine, Australia, and some other origins as well. We'll have to see if we actually get some of those purchases. We've missed out on all of those purchases here recently.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep you posted on any new developments on the export sales front and really any developments related to the grain complex here live on Twitter at GrainTV is where you can find us over there. In general, though, that's kind of what we saw here on a Thursday, a day that didn't see a lot of new fundamental news in the market. We'll have to see what tomorrow brings. Thanks a lot for joining us here on GrainTV. We'll see you then.